Things we wish we had done differently. Well, this topic is kind of difficult because, of course, there are so many things through our lives that we wish we had done differently, or ways we wished we had acted differently. We acknowledge that neither of us have been the perfect parent, or in law, or grandparent, and for any offenses that seem to be left unresolved, we would ask for your forgiveness now. Unfortunately, we are all human, and there are times that our selfish, fallen nature seems to take precedence over what we should do or even want to do. So we'll attempt to share some big things we wish we had done differently, some of which have had an effect on each one of you.
We both wish that we had understood the significance of a covenant relationship in marriage the first time around, and that we had understood that God needed to be the center and glue of our marriage. Unfortunately, first time around for both of us ended in divorce. While Scripture tells us that God hates divorce, and we also know that we can be forgiven for this sin, we know that it has impacted each of you and your children, and that there are consequences for our decisions. We are thankful, however, for the relationships we have been able to maintain with our former spouses, and for the grace we have all been able to extend to one another, so that we can enjoy a variety of times together, including the many events in our grandchildren's lives together as extended family. We have both worked hard for this to happen with all of your help, and while we failed the first time around, we feel that God has blessed our union and has allowed us to see and experience what He desires from a marriage. Thankfully, through friends who helped lead us into a relationship with the Lord, with our church community and small groups, with studying Scripture, and with seeking God's will in our lives, we have been able to experience the Scripture, quote, God works all things together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose, unquote. We want to live our life as God designed us to. We are flawed, and we have failed many, many times in ways, and we are so very sorry for the negative consequences of our actions that have affected each of you.
We also both wish we had known what we know now about the importance of God in our life and establishing a relationship with Jesus, so that we could have more effectively passed that on to each of you for you to choose. We believe it's the most important action that a parent can take, because we believe the decision has eternal, forever consequences. We believe that it's the parent's responsibility to teach and shepherd and share spiritual truth with their children, not the school or teachers or friends. We are sharing this with you knowing it's not too late for you or anyone else in this life to choose to be a believer in Jesus Christ.
We both wish we had not spent so much time in the evening hours or on weekends working to further along our careers at the expense of our children. At the time, we thought it was the right thing to do, but likely it didn't make any difference because we think that God intends for us to be honest and productive employees or business owners, but He also expects us to rest and have time for family.
We also both wish we had not had so many expectations of family members after our marriage together. When we got married, we failed to think through how we could effectively bring together many different backgrounds and life experiences of our own, of our own children as well as future spouses. We are sorry for the hardships that we have encountered along the way that were caused by undue expectations. We are thankful that God knows where He places us in our lives and that He is in control. And we are so very thankful for our family as He put us together. We feel blessed.
We both wish we had more interest in listening and learning about what our parents and grandparents went through in their lives so that we could have an appreciation for the legacy they left us. For example, Charles' mom was a single mom most of his life, raising 5 children. What was that like? Louise's dad served in World War II and lost a brother in the war. What was that like?
Obviously, there are many other things we wished we had done differently, but these are the things that stand out now. None of us are perfect and we've all made mistakes. It's never too late, however, to make necessary changes in our lives and to make amends with others rather than just living with future regrets. We like this saying, regret looks back, worry looks around, and faith looks up.